the All Progressives Congress, APC, is obviously in the middle of a legal impasse where the controversy over a possible tenure elongation. The president at the last NEC meeting of the party did come against that, and he expressed his views. But then that looks like something the party has been pondering on. Today, the president met with the governors of the All Progressives Congress at the State House in Abuja. The meeting, which held in the council chambers of the presidential villa, had all the governors elected under the platform of the APC in attendance. Before the meeting started, the governors were staying in what looked like a heated argument, discussing matters that might not be unconnected with issues surrounding tenure extension for the party's elected officials. At the end of the meeting, the governors left the State House without speaking to State House correspondents on the outcome of the dialogue. Meanwhile, the governors are to meet again at an undisclosed location in Abuja tonight. In the other side of town in Abuja, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Chief John Oyegun, has inaugurated a technical committee to examine President Buhari's position on the tenure of the party's executives, both at the national and state levels. This follows the resolution reached by the leadership of the party at the end of its National Executive Council meeting held in Abuja on February the 27th. President Buhari had made it clear that the extension of the tenure of the party's executives describing was illegal and against the dictates of the party and country's constitution. These are members of the NEC Technical Committee. Is to be chaired by the governor of Plateau State, Mr. Simon Lalong, and also on the committee is Mr. Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator Abiola Ajimobi, Governor of Oyo State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, Governor of Kaduna State, Mr. Rotimi Akeredolu, Governor of Ondo State, Senator Ben Uwajumogu, Honorable Kabiru Ajano, Mr. Elisha Kura, SAN, Mr. Dakas, SAN, and the party's legal advisor, who is to serve as a member also, and the secretary, Mr. Muiz Banire, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. So the conversation has been whether or not the president is right in his position, because the feelers we got after that NEC meeting was what went down in the NEC meeting was a heated argument with the senior lawyers who are also officials of the party, elected officials, from the vice president to some governors who debated on whether or not which of the positions are right in this case. Where the president has said, look, it's against the constitution of the party and against the constitution of Nigeria for there to be a tenure elongation. Some other people believe that it is not. So let's get perspectives, both legal and political, tonight on the program. Joining me from Abuja studio is a founding member of the APC and a former lawmaker in Cross River State, Mr. Cletus Obun, and also a legal practitioner and a political analyst, a regular analyst on Channels Television, Mr. Daniel Bwala. Gentlemen, thank you for your time on the program today. Let us begin this conversation with perhaps what has become a legal impasse for the APC. Mr. Bwala, is the party in trouble? Is the president right in his position, or which position exactly do you think is right in the eye of the law?
Right, Sharon, thank you for having me. The president can be construed as right and wrong depending on which perspective you're looking at it. For example, if the president said that we need to take precaution, to err on the side of caution, there is nothing bad about that. But where the president, I feel, might be wrong is when he said that the steps, if taken, is going to be declared as unconstitutional and it will bring a problem. The reason is because nothing is in conflict. The president's speech, he referred to Section 223 of the Constitution of Nigeria, which provides that every political party must provide in its constitution must provide a provision for periodic election. Now, if you look at the Constitution of APC, Section 17, subsection 1, they have complied with Section 223 by making a provision for a periodic election. So by Section 17 sub 1, they have satisfied the provision of Section 223 of the Constitution. Then the second thing is, the Section 223 sub B says that a periodic election, insofar as it covers a period not exceeding 4 years, can be construed as one that should be seen as periodic election. The question is, if they continue with tenure elongation, does that contradict the provisions of the law and will be declared null and void? I think not. I think not because, number one, the tenure elongation, as provided by the NEC members, is not to add 4 more years to the executive. If you look at Section 223 and 17 sub 1, 223 of the Constitution and 17 sub 1 of the party's Constitution, it is only when a NEC or, in fact, an officer exceed a total number of 8 years, which is the maximum limit within which anybody elected will stay, assuming they are approaching their 8th year and the NEC extended it by another 12 months, that can be declared as unconstitutional and bad. But the 12 months, as expressed by the NEC, is occasioned by one fact, that the party is in crisis. So I ask the question, is the party in crisis? If the answer is yes, then secondly, going into 2019, will this Congress, a congressional election, plunge the party into a deeper mess? If the answer is yes, then the proper procedure or more safer procedure to take is that tenure elongation, because crisis, even by law, necessitates the doctrine of necessity, as we will see as we proceed in this interview.
All right, so let's look at perhaps a political perspective to it. Mr. Obun, you have been a member of this party. Are you concerned with the state of things, especially the positions, different positions that have been taken today? So the question will be, who is afraid of an election in the party, especially at a critical time such as the preparation for the critical 2019 general elections?
Well, I'll begin with an illustration, and from the legal perspective, from the moral perspective, and from a political exigency of our moment, when you start invoking doctrines like the doctrine of necessity, you must have to first not conjure it. It must exist. Is a party in crisis? It's a very fundamental question. One of the biggest problems we have to plural democracy is people always assuming that every disagreement is equal to a crisis. At no time do I find that pockets of disagreements within the states will constitute a crisis for the party at the national level. I think clearly, by Section 17, he's talking about tenure extension and all that, and you are talking about 8 years. Is it clearly stated that after the 12 months, the election that is to take place will be for 4 years, or will it be for 3 years to complete the tenure of this present executive to make it 8 years? These are some of the contradictions, and to be so anticipatory as to suggest that extension of 12 months will not infringe on the party constitution, it fundamentally does. I disagree completely that it does not. It conflicts with the constitution. And of course, don't forget that Governor Ganduje, confirming what the vice president enunciated about what happened in Kanu, where an interim executive had to put up an interim executive that proceeded to conduct a primaries. What did the court say?
All right.